श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम So anyone remembers what we discussed in our last session? Anyone would like to share or summarize? Yes. Anyone?
Prabhuji, we were discussing that without spiritual knowledge, but without getting spiritual knowledge, one cannot be happy. One cannot be happy in this life as well as in the next life. And for getting spiritual knowledge, one should have full faith in Shri Krishna and have full control over his senses.
Correct. One should have faith, control our senses.
We also discussed about faith, that faith is the most important thing. If one develops faith and surrenders to Krishna, Krishna will take care of us, and that faith can be obtained through the association of devotees and by understanding the sadhu scripture, understanding the scriptures and the teachings of sadhu.
Yes. Wonderful. Yes. Anyone would like to add something in this?
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, the faith is most important thing. Our material faith and spiritual faith have heaven and hell difference, because material faith is temporary. If we faith Lord Sri Krishna, it will be permanent, and these will come from Guru Parampara, and we have to faith on Shastra, Guru. All these things we have to regularly follow.
Wonderful.
According to Guru instruction, we can reach to Krishna.
Yes. Right.
The faith is most important. Yes, faith is most important, because material faith and spiritual faith is heaven and hell difference.
Correct. So, as nicely summarized, we discussed two verses of Bhagavad Gita from chapter 4, verse number 38 and verse number 39 and verse number 40. So, in this two verses, we understood the significance of faith that Krishna is sharing, that how important is to have faith in this transcendental message. This transcendental knowledge, it is not ordinary. This knowledge Krishna is mentioning is like a boat which can help us to cross over this material existence. So this knowledge, transcendental knowledge, plays a very important role in the life of a jiva or a living entity. So when we place faith, so Krishna is clearly mentioning, is saying, faithless person who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. A person who is doubtful, he cannot attain God consciousness. He cannot be conscious of that supreme personality of Godhead. That is not possible if he is having doubt or he is having faithlessness in the revealed scriptures. For doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next. A person who is doubting, he cannot be happy. Just like, sometimes we get news from the world that a person who is traveling in the aircraft, all of a sudden, he doubts that this aircraft might be having some explosives, right? There was one incident came in the news where a person, he said, there is a bomb in this aircraft, or he was doubting like that. So immediately he was arrested because of this thing, and he could not travel. Because doubting, if we are doubting these revealed scriptures, what is the purpose of these scriptures? That Krishna explains, these scriptures are given to us so that we can be happy. Just like you purchase some gadget, new gadget you purchase from the market, and when you purchase a new gadget from the market, and suppose new technology has come into the market, and that gadget first time like you are purchasing, so along with that you will get user manual, and in that user manual there will be set of instructions how to utilize this gadget, how to make best use of this gadget. All those instructions are there. So when we read that manual, we can use that gadget in his full capacity. In the full capacity, we can use that gadget. Or suppose if we don't have full knowledge about that gadget, will not be able to utilize that gadget in full capacity. Or suppose when in the market newly this phones came into the market. So these smartphones, if we don't know how to utilize, how to operate, what all features this smartphone carries, so what will happen? We'll not be able to utilize it in 100%. We may use it for making some calls, but after suppose 1 year you came to know, 1 or 2 year you came to know, oh, there is a camera also in this smartphone. There is this feature also is in this smartphone. You can watch videos also in this smartphone. You can connect across the world through this smartphone with social media and various such apps. So you will be like, oh, I was not at all aware since for a long time. Right? So same way, these scriptures, revealed scriptures, especially Bhagavad Gita, is like a user manual for the mankind. When we take advantage of it, or when we understand this knowledge, which is transcendental in nature, Divya Jnana, when we acquire this knowledge, we can lead our life in more efficient way, and we can experience that bliss on the every moment basis. We can experience the bliss in our heart. That happiness we can experience just by acquiring this knowledge. So we'll read the next verses, verse number 41 and 42. I'll share my screen. Verse number 41, and so I'll chant the shloka. All of you can join me in chanting the shloka. Yoga sanyasta karmanam
Yoga Sanyastana Karimanam
jnana sanchina samshayam
Jnana Sanchaya Sanchayan
atmavantam na karmani
Atmavantam na karmani
nibantanti dhananjaya.
Nibadhananti dhananjaya.
Anyone would like to chant the shloka?
Yoga sannasya karmanang yan samsinna samsayam attabantang mani nibadhanti dhananjaya.
Wonderful. Yes. Anyone else would like to try?
Yoga
Yoga. Yes, carry on, ma'am.
Yoga Sanyasa Karmanam Jnana Sanchita Samyasam Atma Na Karmani Nibadanti Dhanyanjana Jaya.
Wonderful. Yes. Someone else?
Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam Jnana Sanchisa Sanchayanam Atmavantam na karmani निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय.
Yes, someone else?
योग संन्यस्त कर्माणि कर्मणं ज्ञान संचिन्न संन्यासम आत्मवन्तं न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनंजय.
Yes, wonderful. Yes, someone else?
योगसन्न्यस्तकर्माणं ज्ञानसञ्चयेन संशयम् आत्मवन्तं न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय.
Yes, someone else?
योगसन्न्यस्तकर्मणं ज्ञानसञ्चिन्न संशयम् आत्मवन्तं न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय.
Wonderful. Yes, someone else? Else would like to end? All right, read the translation. Therefore, one who has renounced the fruits of his action, whose doubts are destroyed by transcendental knowledge, and who is situated firmly in the self, is not bound by works, or conqueror of riches.
अपने
So
स्वरूप
here,
का ज्ञान पहले ही हो जाता है. अपनी संदेह का नंबर समझते.
Krishna is mentioning three things he is mentioning. One who is renounced the fruit of his action. So here, very important thing to understand. Krishna is concluding in a way. If you see, third chapter name was Karma Yoga, where he was explaining about karma, where we understood in detail that renouncing the fruits of action is more important than renouncing the action. Because Arjuna, he was thinking that leaving this battlefield, as we all know, that Arjuna, he was about to leave the battlefield, that I don't want to kill my king's men in this battle. I cannot kill them. For a piece of land, for a kingdom, I don't want to kill them. So, he want to leave the battle and go to the forest. He is mentioning that it's better, let me go to the forest. So, Krishna very clearly, he is bringing this point out. In the third chapter also we understood, a person who out of immaturity go to a secluded place in the name of practicing spirituality, he may renounce all the actions and go to secluded place to practice spirituality. If he is immature, he will fall down. He is just a pretender. That is what Krishna was mentioning. So here Krishna is concluding that one who has renounced the fruits of his action. In action, there is no problem. You perform action. This is what is the nature of the Jiva. Jiva cannot be inactive. We all are spirit soul, and nature of the spirit, very nature of the spirit soul is to be active. Either at mental level or physical level, we are always active. We cannot get free from this action. So, the thing is, we no need to renounce the action, but we have to renounce the fruits of this action. That is the real sannyasa. That is the real sannyas yoga, or that is the real life of a renouncement. A person who renounces life. So that is very important thing to understand. Many times we get this conclusion that renouncing action is sannyas. No. A sannyasi is also engaged day and night working hard. But when he is working by renouncing all the fruits, and those fruits he is offering to Krishna. Whatever work he may do, like in previous verses we understood, whatever action he may perform, all those actions are simply meant for the pleasure of that Supreme Personality of Godhead, and is the real sannyasa. First thing, this is what Krishna is mentioning. Second, whose doubts are destroyed by transcendental knowledge. Whose doubts are destroyed by transcendental knowledge. So anyone would like to share what is transcendental knowledge? In few previous verses we discussed what is transcendental knowledge. Krishna shares very clearly what is transcendental knowledge. So who would like to share what is transcendental knowledge?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So, transcendental knowledge is the knowledge of self and knowledge of super soul, and the eternal association of soul with super soul in the form of being eternal servant by serving Lord Krishna. And how to develop that love is a combination of all these is transcendental. And knowing that Krishna is the proprietor, he is the cause of all causes, he is the maintainer, and he is the destroyer. So once we develop that understanding that we are part and parcel of him, and Krishna is the cause of all causes. So that is the transcendental knowledge.
Yes. Anyone else would like to add something? What Krishna mentioned, what is transcendental knowledge?
I think it's all covered. It's about our creation, realizing self, and our relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, right. Wonderful. Few previous verses, can someone open and share what Krishna mentioned? What is that transcendental knowledge? Just open up some pages. धूल तो नहीं चाट रहे? चलिए open verse number 35th. Verse number 35th, Krishna is clearly sharing what is that transcendental knowledge. What is that? Anyone can read out?
Yes, nahi ganeno sadresam pavitramah vidyate tatsam jagasam siddha karanatmani vindati.
No, verse number 35th.
30?
And when you have thus learned the truth, you will know that all living beings are but part of me, and that they are in me and are mine.
So this is the transcendental knowledge that Krishna is sharing. That we all Jivatmas, we are spirit souls. We all belong to Krishna. Just like Deepak ji mentioned, that a connection or that relationship between the soul and the super soul, Atma and Paramatma, or Jiva and Ishvara, that covers everything, and that knowledge is known as transcendental knowledge. And how one can acquire this transcendental knowledge? One can acquire transcendental knowledge by approaching a bona fide spiritual master. How? That Krishna is mentioning in verse number 34th. Tadvidhi paripatena pariprashnena seveya updekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. That just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. A person who has seen the truth can impart that knowledge to you. Suppose 2 days back, when I was, going inside Vrindavan, so my specs was taken away by the monkey because my eyesight is little weak, so I cannot see far off distance things very clearly. Because eyesight is weak, I cannot see the things clearly because they are very far. So what will happen? Suppose on one wall some rope is hanging. Some rope is hanging on a wall. Just because I'm not using my specs or my specs is not there, I may conceive that rope as a snake. I may conceive that rope as a snake. Whereas a person whose eyes is completely alright, completely perfect, who is in complete knowledge, or if I use my specs, so what I will see? I will see rope as a rope, not as a snake. Right? So same way, this transcendental knowledge help us to clear all the doubts. And when doubts are destroyed, we are situated in the knowledge, we are free from all kinds of fear. We are free from all kinds of duality. All kinds of fears, all kinds of dualities, we are situated in the self. We are situated in the self. Otherwise, just like for me it was not clear, so it will create fear in my heart. Oh, snake is there. Right? But in actuality, there is no existence of a snake, it is simply a rope. Right? So same way, when our eyes are anointed with the knowledge, this transcendental knowledge, we can see the things as they are. We can perceive Krishna or that Supreme Personality of Godhead as He is. Otherwise, will be failed to understand not only ourselves but that Supreme Lord also. So this transcendental knowledge, this Divya Jnana, helps the living entity to get free from all doubts and to lead a life which is completely sublime. A person can live a sublime life, and this is what Krishna was mentioning earlier. Verse number 38. Krishna is mentioning, in this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism, and one who has achieved this enjoys the self within himself in due course of time. So when a person he is free from all insecurities, all kinds of fear, all kind of duality, so what will happen? He will enjoy within himself. He will be independent of the object, situation, and people around him. His enjoyment, his happiness will be independent of all the factors. His happiness will be in the self. His happiness will be in the self. Third is, who is situated firmly in the sense is not bound by works. So first thing Krishna has concluded here. Second is doubts destroyed by transcendental knowledge. So when doubts are destroyed, he renounces the fruits of his action, and a person who is firmly situated, then what happens? Person is firmly situated in the self, then he is no more bound by the karma. Nibaddanti dhananjaya atmavantam na karmani. He is free from all kind of reactions of karma. Whatever action we may perform, whether good or bad, we yield papa or punya. We yield pious credit, or we may yield sinful reaction. But a person who is completely situated in the self, who is having this Divya Jnana, who is having this knowledge, and who has renounced all the fruits of his action, for that person there is no reaction at all, because whatever work he is doing, it is on the absolute platform. It is on the absolute platform. We read the purport. One who follows the instruction of Gita as it is imparted by the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, becomes free from all doubts by the grace of transcendental knowledge. He, as a part and parcel of the Lord, in full Krishna consciousness, is already established in self-knowledge. As such, he is undoubtedly above bondage to action. Same thing is mentioned in the purport, that a person who is very well aware that he is part and parcel of that Supreme Lord. And this is what Krishna is going to clarify very soon, that Mame Vamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Again, same thing he is going to mention in the subsequent chapters. So when we have this, just like Prabhupada shares very interesting anecdote in this connection, that when he was traveling with his father, along with his father in a bus, he was traveling. So as usual in the bus, sometimes there is a checking is going on. They raid and they do checking whether all the passengers have taken tickets or not. So he was very young, he was a small kid, he was traveling along with his father. So when that person came to this child, Prabhupada asked, "Where is your ticket?" So he simply pointed his finger towards his father. He is like, "Don't bother me, ask him, because my ticket has been taken by my father. Don't bother me, ask him. He will take care." So same way, because he knows that child, small child, Prabhupada knows that I have a relationship with my father, I am traveling with my father, he will take care of my journey. Ticket, this, that, everything he will take care. So he is completely dependent upon his father. He has no need to be worried. No need to be worried. So he is completely dependent. Same way, when we understand this relationship with Krishna, so what will happen? Be free from all kinds of fears. This path will become like ahituki apratihata. Path will be free from all kinds of fears, insecurities in our heart, all these things. And when this thing is there, even though suppose that father has not taken the ticket, child has no need to worry. Father has to pay the fine, because child is completely dependent upon the father. And if father has taken the ticket, then also child has no need to be worried, because father has taken the ticket. Okay. So we'll continue further, verse number 40. तस्मादज्ञान संभूतं हृतस्थं ज्ञानसिनः आत्मनः चित्वैनं संशयं योगम् अतिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ भारतः. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, O Bharata, stand and fight. Here, at the end of this chapter, Krishna, after sharing all the knowledge, is asking Arjuna, now you stand. Uttishto means you stand and fight. Samshaya, Chitvenam Samshayam Yogam. Chitvenam means slashed, cut down. Samshayam means doubts. In yoga means in knowledge. Through knowledge, you completely cut off all your doubts and get up, Arjuna, you fight. So because Arjuna's heart, in earlier sessions, we see how Arjuna's heart was completely filled with the doubt. How he is addressing Krishna in the second chapter. Can anyone open up the second chapter? Yes, verse number 6 translation. Can anyone read out? Verse number 5th and 6th. Okay, verse number 4th, 5th, 6th.
Yes.
Translation.
Yes. Respected superiors like Bhishma, the grandfather, and Dronacharya, the teacher, are always worshipable. Even
No,
they
translation. Only translation, not purport.
only translations. O killer, enemies, killer of Madhu, how can I counter the enemies in battle? Men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship.
Yeah. So here, if you see, Arjuna is mentioning, "O killer of Madhu, Krishna, you yourself has killed a demon by name Madhu."
Yes.
He's because Krishna is known addressed as Madhusudana. Sudana means you are the killer of demon Madhu. You yourself has killed now, and you have not killed. Krishna is not known as Vasudev Sudana, Devki Sudana. You have not killed your mother, father, or your uncle. You have killed a demon, Madhu. So how can you ask me to kill my own kingsmen, Bhishma or Drona? They are worthy to be worshipped. You have killed a demon, that is understandable. But you are asking me to kill my own relatives who are worthy of worshipping. They are my spiritual master. They are my, gurus. How can I kill them? First thing. Second, he is telling it is better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though they are avaricious, they are nonetheless superior. If they are killed, our spoil will be tainted with blood. Second, third, he is mentioning, do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? The sons of Dhritarashtra, whom if we killed, we should not care to live, are now standing before us on this battlefield. So here if we see, Arjuna is completely filled with the doubt of what is good, what is bad, what he should do, what he should not do. Same way in our life, many times we come across certain situations where just we see either I choose this path or either I choose that path. Either this or that path, both paths we see as though there is a huge loss. Lose-lose situation we may see. So Arjuna, here both the situation he is seeing as a lose-lose situation. If he wins the battle, then also is a lose situation because there is no one around him with whom he can celebrate, he can enjoy with his kingdom, victory of his kingdom. If sons of Dhritarashtra, they win the kingdom, then also there is no gain. It's a great loss. So both the cases he is seeing lose-lose situation, so he is completely filled with the doubt. And in the next verse, Arjuna, he surrenders to Krishna to clarify these doubts. And Krishna, he at a great length, he speak about this knowledge, transcendental knowledge, share this transcendental knowledge to Arjuna to clarify his doubt. And after sharing this knowledge, again Krishna is asking, "O Bharata, stand and fight." We'll read the purport in detail. We'll read the purport and then we'll try to understand in detail. The yoga system instructed in this chapter is called Sanatana Yoga, or eternal activities performed by the living entities. This yoga has two divisions of sacrificial actions. One is called sacrifice of one's material possession, and the other is called knowledge of self, which is pure spiritual activity. If sacrifice of one's material possession is not dovetailed for spiritual realization, then such sacrifice becomes material. So here, in this chapter, now this verse in this purport, there is a summary of this chapter is also included. So what it is saying, what Prabhupada is saying over here is, this yoga system, which is also known as Sanatana Yoga system, or eternal activities that are performed by the living entities. There are two divisions. Earlier we understood how important it is to perform yagna. Krishna again and again he mentioned various places how important it is to perform yagna. Why? Because these yagnas are very, very important or crucial to derive the happiness that a living entity aspire for, a real happiness. So we understood various kinds of yagnas also, dravya yagna, jnana yagna, tapo yagna, all these yagnas Krishna shared in detail. And among all the yagnas, Krishna mentioned, which one is the topmost among all yagnas?
Sankirtan yagna.
Personal service.
One by one. Sankirtan yagna and
Jnana Yagna.
Jnana
Spreading the
yagna
knowledge
and
about Krishna. Yeah.
yes, anyone else?
Japa.
All right.
Japa.
Japa yagna. Yeah, Sankirtan yagna, Japa yagna, same. So yes. So Krishna mentioned this knowledge, Jnana yagna is the topmost. And what is that Jnana yagna? People may perform dravya yagna also, some charitable activities, social welfare activities. But that dravya yagna or social welfare activities is also considered very temporary. Will not help a living entity to get liberate or to attain the highest perfection. Whereas this jnana yagna will help the living entity to go back to Godhead, or to get out of the clutches of this material existence, to get rid of this cycle of birth and death. And this we understood from a small story where a child who was mentally retarded, some issue happened, something happened, he lost the presence of his mind and he was lost. He lost the connection with his family and he's wandering here and there. He's surviving on the alms, begging, he's begging, and like that he's surviving, maintaining himself. But a person, few people, they are giving some chapati, something, some eatables, and like that he is surviving, maintaining himself. But a person he recognized, another person he recognized, oh, you are son of so and so person. He is so rich and you are so poor. See, what is your condition? You are looking so shabby. So what he did? He took this mentally retarded child to that person, because this person has a knowledge of relationship that exists between that mentally retarded kid and that rich wealthy person. Same way, this knowledge, transcendental knowledge, can help us. It is like a boat that Krishna is mentioning. No, it is like a boat which can help us to come out of the existence of this temporary existence which is filled with miseries, dukkha, that Krishna is mentioning in the further verses. This is dukkhalyam ashashvatam. When at various places, various instances, there was a discussion between Arjuna and Krishna on various subject matters. So one of the subject matter was, what will be the symptoms of Kali Yuga? the discussion about Kali Yuga was going on. So Arjuna, he became curious to know what will be the symptoms of Kali Yuga. To narrate or to share what will be the symptoms of Kali Yuga, Krishna, he shooted 4 arrows in different directions, and he asked Arjuna, you follow these 4 arrows, and after following these 4 arrows, you will get your answer. So first place he went, he saw that there were 5 wells, and those 5 wells, one center well is there, and that center well is surrounded by 4 another wells. Surprising thing here is this center well is completely empty, whereas 4 well which are surrounding this center well are completely filled with the water. So it is surprising for Arjuna why it is so. Then he followed second arrow. Second arrow he went and he saw that a bird, cuckoo bird, koel we say, very nicely she is chirping, producing very soothing, melodious voice, sound. But after some time, she ate her own eggs. She ate her own eggs. This is also very astonishing for Arjuna. Could not understand what Krishna wants to make him understand. Third, he went and he saw that one cow is there, and cow, just now she has given birth to a calf, and she, out of affection, she is licking the calf, licking so much so that that calf is now bleeding. Blood is coming out of the calf. So this is also very surprising for Arjuna. How come a cow can be a cause of suffering for her own child? So this also he could not relate. And fourth place he went and he saw from a mountain some big boulders, some big stones are rolling down. During landslide or certain such incident, it happens, no? The stones rolls down or boulders comes down. So all these boulders or stones, whatever is coming on their way, it is completely getting smashed. Whether it may be trees, bushes, or some small pebbles, everything is getting smashed completely. But at one point, a small blade of grass could completely hold the boulder or that stone which is coming with a great speed. It is coming with a great speed, but a small blade of grass could hold the entire stone. This also is like out of syllabus for Arjuna. All 4 situations he could not understand what Krishna wants to say. So he went back to Krishna and narrated all the situations and asked him, what do you want to convey? Please tell me. So anyone would like to share which situation? There are 4 situations. First is 5 wells. Second is cuckoo bird eating her own eggs. Third is cow licking calf. Fourth is that stone. So what situation or what scenario, what we can relate Anyone would like to share?
Prabhuji, I
No,
only
please.
know about two.
Yes, please.
So one is the well thing that 4 kids will not be able to support the old parents, I guess so. And the calf and cow, where the parents are uh, giving so much of affection to kids that they are not able to become independent.
Okay. Yes, anyone else? All right. So we'll understand one by one. For these 5 wells represents that in Kali Yuga, just like 5 wells, center well is surrounded by 4 wells. So generally, if you see well in well, water is because of groundwater level. So they are all close by. All these 4 wells are having sufficient water, is filled with water, whereas center well is having no water, is completely dry up. So it represents the unequal or what we say unequal distribution of the wealth in the society. That someone is having lot of riches, lot of wealth, whereas another person there is no food to eat also. He'll not be able to maintain himself. He'll be suffering or struggling. Just like in Mumbai, there is a Dharavi, which is the largest slum area. And next to Dharavi, there are very posh apartments or societies. It is surrounded by that. So there's, disparity is there. There's no equal distribution of the wealth. Because of that, there will be suffering. Second is cuckoo bird, who speaks very produces sounds very nicely or very soothingly. Krishna says it represents there will be lot of pretenders in the society. In Kali Yuga, there will be lot of pretenders in the society who, in the name of spirituality, they will speak very nicely. They will be good orators, but they will cheat their own disciples. They will eat away their own disciples. They will cheat with them. They will cheat with them. So that is what will happen in Kali Yuga. They will talk very nicely, but in the name of spirituality, they will cheat their own disciple. They will be doing word jugglery. Very pleasingly, they will talk. But what will happen? Their own disciple, they'll not be able to make a spiritual advancement. It will be a spiritual suicide. It will be a spiritual suicide. So Kali Yuga will be filled with such people. Third, as you have nicely shared, a cow who is like eating her own calf. So that cow is showing so much affection. So in Kali Yuga, Krishna is mentioning that in Kali Yuga, parents will be so much affectionate to their kids. They will pamper them so much that they will not be able to make progress in their life, either materially or spiritually. Either materially or spiritually, they will not be able to make progress. They will be pampering them so much so that Now, many times we see, sometimes in some, houses or some families, kids are there, everything is available on their fingertips, whatever gadget they may need, whatever facility they may require, education, this, that, best of the things are available to them. And after finishing their primary education, secondary education, when they prepare for competitive exams, or when they see that this world is filled with competition and they are not able to survive in this competition, they're not able to deal with this competition or this competitive world, they get depressed. They get depressed to the extent they go to extreme steps such as committing suicide. Because till 15 years, 16 years, or 17 years in their life, everything is available. Just they have to speak out once. Everything is available on their fingertips. So much pampering, so much affection was given to them. But when it came to the point when competition starts, or they have to secure a good job or something like that, they are seeing they are not able to secure a job, they are not able to survive in this competition, they lose the peace of their mind, they get disturbed, they get depressed to the extent they want to end their life. So much affection of parents, Krishna is mentioning, so much affection of the parents can itself can cause damage to the kids, can harm the kids, their own kids. Even though parents, they are doing for the welfare of kids only. Fourth one. What is fourth one? Let us see who has a sharp memory, that they can remember 5 minute things.
Stone and blade. Stone and brass or blade.
Yeah. Who is this? Gaurav ji, right?
Kishan.
Okay, Kishan ji, wonderful. So stone and blade. So that big stone is rolling down from the top of the mountain, smashing all the trees, all the bushes, all the pebbles, all the small stones, everything that is boulder, that a big stone is smashing away. But it is completely stopped by small piece of blade of grass. So what that represents? Krishna shares that in the Kali Yuga, this age is filled with lot of kaleshas, lot of miseries. Even though someone may try to do good, he will land up in some kind of problem. He may land up in some kind of distress. All those things one may experience. So what is the solution? In the Kali Yuga, Krishna is mentioning all big ritualistic ceremonies, yagna, tapasya, all these things will not help. Just like tree is like big yagnas or big tapasya. Kali Yuga influence will be so much so that all these ritualistic ceremonies which are mentioned in the Vedas will not help to stop the influence of Kali. Then what will help? Only thing that will help is holy name of the Lord. Sankirtan Yagna is the only thing that can help the living entity to safeguard against the influence of Kali Yuga. That is the only hope. So this transcendental knowledge one can realize when one performs sacrifice, especially Sankirtan Yagna. chanting the holy name of the Lord. Then only it is possible. We'll read further. But one who performs such sacrifice with a spiritual objective or in devotional service makes perfect sacrifice. When we come to spiritual activities, we find that these are also divided into, namely, understand of one's own self or one's constitutional position and the truth regarding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who follows the path of the Gita, as it can be very easily understand that these two important divisions of spiritual knowledge. For him, there is no difficulty in obtaining perfect knowledge of the self as part and parcel of the Lord. So basically, what is happening? We all are under the influence of illusory energy of the Lord, or in simple words, Maya. And under that illusion, or under the influence of that Maya, we identify our own self as the body. We identify our own self as the body. And we act completely on the bodily platform, where we get influenced by the dualities of this material world. What are the dualities? Distress and happiness. Krishna shares this duality with a nice analogy. What is that? Like a summers and winter season. Same way, we get influenced by distress and happiness. Such a certain situation make us happy, certain situation make us put us in distress situation, make us distressed. We feel sad, all that happens. So it means we are under the influence of Maya, under the influence of illusory energy, or we are influenced by so and so situation. Whereas when we come to this understanding, Jivera Sarup hoy Nityera Krishna Das, that we are part and parcel. Jivera Sarup, Swarup means constitutional position of the living entity, is that he is part and parcel of that Supreme Lord, and he is the servant of that Supreme Lord. Then what happens? He is free from the influence of all dualities. Happiness, distress, good, bad, auspicious, inauspicious, everything is free. And he takes joy in the self. He is completely free from the doubts. Many times, like some of you might be working. So what happened when you are working? You get influenced by your work. Right? All that happens. Same way, we are under the influence of this Maya or illusory energy. We are acting on bodily platform. So when we understand this through this transcendental knowledge, when we understand our real position, then we are free from all doubts. We are simply on this transcendental platform, which is free from all the dualities. It is completely, everyone will experience bliss all the time. We'll read further. And such understanding is beneficial for such a person who easily understands the transcendental activities of the Lord. And how it is possible? By understanding transcendental activities of the Lord. That Krishna is mentioning in the 9th verse of the 4th chapter. What is that? Janma karmoccha me divyam evam vetyo tatvata taktva deham pularneti jan neti mameti so Arjuna. That by understanding my transcendental activities, my birth, one can get free from the cycle of birth and death. So, by such, it is possible. In the beginning of this chapter, the transcendental activities of the Lord were discussed by the Supreme Lord Himself. One who does not understand the instructions of the Gita is faithless and is to be considered to be misusing the fragmental independence awarded to him by the Lord. In spite of such instructions, one who does not understand the real nature of the Lord as the eternal, blissful, and all-knowing Supreme Personality of Godhead is certainly fool number one. Ignorance can be removed by gradual acceptance of the principles of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is awakened by different types of sacrifices to the demigods, sacrifice to Brahman, sacrifice in celibacy, in household life, in controlling the senses, in practicing mystic yoga, in penance, in foregoing material possession, in studying the Vedas, and in partaking of the social institution called Varnashrama Dharma. All of these are known as sacrifice, and all of them are based on regulated action. But within all these activities, the important factor is self-realization. So ignorance, currently all of us are in this state of ignorance. At different level, we are ignorant of various things. We are ignorant of our own self. We are ignorant of this material world. We are ignorant of the miseries of this material world. Just like earlier we discussed, a hog is there, pig is there. That pig is rejoicing or eating stool, relishing that. You may give nice cake, eggless cake to the pig. Pig will not take any pleasure. He wants to enjoy only stool. He wants to eat stool. You may get best of the cake, tasty cake. He has no value for it. Same way, out of ignorance, we many times immerse ourselves in the worldly pleasures or in the sense gratification, and by which we lose the interest or opportunity of this human form of life, which is meant for higher purpose. And what is that higher purpose? Is to realize our own self, who we are. This human life is given to us for the self-realization, to understand who we are. We are the spirit soul. This spirit soul belongs to that Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are His part and parcel. All that is realizing our own self. One who seeks that objective is the real student of Bhagavad Gita, but one who doubts the authority of Krishna falls back. One is therefore advised to study Bhagavad Gita or any other scripture under a bona fide spiritual master with service and surrender. That Krishna mentioned in the 34th verse of this chapter. Tad vidhi paripadena pariprashnena sevaya. And one should approach a bona fide spiritual master. From him, one should try to understand this knowledge. How it is possible? When he takes shelter, when he surrenders and offers service, seva, to that spiritual master. Without seva, it is not possible to assimilate this knowledge. It is not possible. Just like, this Sanskrit is so vast. How words, the Sanskrit words, which meaning is used in that particular context or in that particular verse, it is very difficult to make out. It is because it is contextual. Just like word Hari, there are 20 meanings of word Hari. Word Hari refers to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu also. Word Hari refers to monkey also. Word Hari refers to lion also. Like that, there are so many innumerable, approx 20 such meanings are there simply for word Hari. So when this verse is there, in that context, which meaning is suiting, that only a bona fide spiritual master can tell. Otherwise, with our own interpretation, we may land up in some kind of confusion. We may end up in some kind of confusion. Further we read, a bona fide spiritual master.
A bona fide spiritual master is in the disciplic succession.
A bona fide spiritual master is in the disciplic succession from time eternal, and he does not deviate at all from the instruction of the Supreme Lord as they were imparted millions of years ago to the Son Lord, and from whom the instructions of Bhagavad Gita come down to the earthly kingdom. One should therefore follow the path of Bhagavad Gita as it is expressed in the Gita itself, and beware of self-interested people after personal aggrandizement to deviate others from the actual path. The Lord is definitely supreme person, and his activities are transcendental. One who understands this is a liberated person from the very beginning of this study of Gita. So here Prabhupada is mentioning that who is a bona fide spiritual master who is coming down in the parampara from the time eternal. Just like Krishna, he mentions in the beginning of this chapter, Evam vivasvate yogam proktavan avyayam. This knowledge first I gave to Vivaswan, sun god, and he in return gave to Ikshvaku. Like that, this knowledge is coming down in parampara, in disciplic succession, and the same intent is passed on. Whereas few people out of their own personal self-interest, they may concoct the idea of or this knowledge for their own personal use. Just like cuckoo bird eats away her own egg. Same way, some people who are having some self-interest, they may cheat their own disciple. We should be beware of that. And how it is possible? When we receive this knowledge in the parampara disciplic succession. And that disciplic succession is mentioned in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita itself. How this, and in the Padma Purana also it is mentioned. There are 4 authorized paramparas. So, like that, we should approach a bona fide spiritual master, acquire this knowledge from him, this transcendental knowledge from him, and slashed away all our doubts, get free from all the doubts of this material existence, so that we can experience bliss, we can live peacefully, get free from all kinds of fears in our heart, insecurities of our heart. With this, we'll end here. Anyone has any question or anything to share or ask? Any questions? All right. So I have a question for all of you that I'll be asking now, but all of you have a 1 week time to answer this question. So next class, you should answer this question. So the question is, in the Bhagavad Gita, today we have completed 4th chapter. Okay. So 3rd chapter named as, anyone knows what is the name of 3rd chapter?
Karma Yoga.
Karma. Wonderful. 4th chapter?
Jnana Yoga.
Jnana Yoga, transcendental knowledge. 5th chapter?
Karma Sannyas Yoga.
Karma Sannyasi. All right, wonderful. So in the next class, I need your inputs or your answer. What is the difference between 3rd chapter and 4th chapter? 5th chapter, as both are known as Karma Yoga. 3rd chapter is known as Karma Yoga. 5th chapter is known as Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. So what is the difference between 3rd chapter and 5th chapter? Next week, I'll be asking, and who will give the right answer, that person will receive something very special.
Yes. Nice. Wonderful.
All right. So with this, we will end here today. Anyone has any question or anything? Alright. So we'll close here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki,
Jai.
Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
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 Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.